Hey guys, my name is Ismail and welcome to another Blender daily tip. More so kind of an add-on show off maybe rather than a tutorial. So I've been trying to make this scene here, just ground caving in or breaking apart, but I couldn't find a way of making it without using some sort of add-on, and also tried searching for add-ons that could do this on the Blender markets or anywhere else, but I couldn't find anything that could get me to this scene. So I decided to make my own add-on that I'm calling the literal groundbreaking add-on, because that's exactly what it does. And yes, so I'm just going to show you how it works. And also, if you want to download the plugin, you can download it for free on my Patreon page. But because I'm working on this, I'm still improving on this add-on. I'll be the updates to the add-on will be only available or accessible only to Patreons, paying patrons on my Patreon page. But this first iteration is going to be free for anyone who wants to continue working on it, or maybe make their own version, or look at how I did this. So yeah, let's get in, and maybe I'll also do a tutorial on how I tried approaching this without an add-on, and how far I got, and then realized that it wasn't possible to do it without making something in Python to get it done the way I wanted it. So let me show you how to set this up. So you're going to need at first fracture the ground like this, using the cell fracture add-on or any fracture tool you have, and then you're going to need the fractures to be in a collection called blocks, and then have a target object that we'll call a block target. Let me just open up a new blend file here so that I can show you how everything works. Let's start by creating maybe a rod that we are going to cave in. So I'll just create something simple here, nothing complicated, automatic. Yes, just something very simple, slightly. Yeah, something like this, and I'll go to the curve editor or curve settings and change the extrusion a bit. Then I need to change the banking here, so I just select that and should twist this into a flat surface like this. I think I should reduce the resolution here a bit, it doesn't matter, but then convert this to a mesh, and then add the loop cuts for resolution, and I'll extrude that. Yeah, so this is the surface we are going to cave in, and I think the thickness is a bit too much, so I'll reduce that to something like that. So I'm going to also create two materials here for the thickness and the surface, so that our render looks a bit better. So this will be our asphalt, and then for the thickness, so yeah, this is, and then you can use the cell fracture add-on to fracture this into small pieces. So I'll just set this to small, set the material index for the thickness, and then we need the fractures to go in a group called blocks. If you change the names here, if you don't give it if you don't put it in a collection called blocks, the add-on will not work. Right now it's still buggy, and I'm still working on a lot of things. After that, you don't have to worry about that. I want to make it just a single button click and everything works, but for now, because it's in a beta version, we have to name things accordingly. So it's going to be blocks. Let's see if we need to set anything here. That's it. Hit OK, and the add-on should start working. The fracture add-on should start fracturing the surface, and after it will put everything in the blocks collection. The other thing you need to do is remove this shell and put it in its own, in a different, make sure it's not in the blocks location, because if we create the add-on, if we activate the add-on, it will give these fractures a rigid body setting, and if this is also in the same block setting, it will give it the rigid body setting, and they will start because they are intersecting and they're all inside that shell. They will start creating. It won't work. Basically, that's what I mean. And the rigid body won't fall down because they're contained within the shell here. So make sure it's not in that group. And then we need the target object that will be moving around to kind of start fracturing the object. So I'll just add an empty circle here. The scale doesn't really matter because the offset or the radius where the blocks are affected is controlled by the script itself. Maybe I'll change the radius to be affected by the scale of the object in another iteration. For now, we just have to, it doesn't really matter now. After you have set up everything here, I'll also make sure that this target here is named block target, exactly like that. Otherwise, the script will not work. And then go under scripting, then copy the script from the project, or maybe I'll leave it. Let me just copy it directly from where is my project. Scripting. You can see it's just a few lines, so you just copy everything here as is, and then where's my project? Is it this? Yeah, I think this is it. So open a new, go to the scripting layout and then create a new script and then paste everything there. Then make sure you select at least one of the blocks because it's going to look for the active object. And if you have the active object as say this item here, it will try to make it a rigid body and give you an error because this is an empty that cannot have rigid body simulations. And also make sure that this target here is not inside the blocks collection because after you make the block collection, every object you add, as long as you have this selected, the blocks collection selected, every object you add will be added inside there. So make sure you just select the object, hit M, and then move it to a different collection. So I'll move it to the main collection and make sure it's not inside that. And you can also test this out to make sure that nothing that nothing that isn't supposed to be in the blocks collection is there. So you can select any of the fractures and then Shift G, select collection, and you can see only the fractures are inside the collection. So then after you do that, everything is set up. You can just run the script and you can see you didn't get any errors and everything should work. So now we just need to animate this part here. I can see without even animating, because this is close enough to this here, the blocks start falling down. And if we move them maybe closer to somewhere here, these need to recalculate first. Let me see what's going on. Let me animate this. Just see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, you can see maybe the rigid body system needed to first refresh or something, but yeah. So you can see you can start animating the position of this element or this empty or target to tell Blender what parts of the road it should fracture. So I think Blender always has to first recalculate the simulation for this to work. Let me first see what's going on here. It's a bit buggy, I think, but let's see what's going on. I'm just going to back to scripting, refresh this. Yeah, I think sometimes you have to run the script again so that the values, all the values are refreshed. So can bring back the timeline here, just so we update the animation. Let me delete these keyframes and put new ones. Maybe let's just have this cross directly through here, and let's rerun the script. Okay, it's a bit buggy right now. I'm also not sure why we have a bug right now. Maybe, oh, I think, yeah, this is an issue I was running into. Sometimes when you say trying to move around this, because I use my shortcut for rotating the view panel is this how's it called? I'm not sure how it's called, but it's this button here. And so the error you're seeing here is because I was trying to navigate to rotate, to pan around this scene, and my cursor was over this, and that's caused me to type in another character here. That will definitely cause a bug. So yeah, you might want to be aware of that. So if you're running into any issues, you may just make sure that the code has not been changed. I wish there was a way to lock this view area so that you don't have accidentally type in anything. So let's run again and see. Can see runs smoothly, no errors, and you can see that's better. We get exactly that. Yeah, so I'll be improving on this add-on, and you can see in the scripting you can change the radius or fall-off distance to which if objects are within that area, that radius, you need to run the script again for this to work. Did I see an error? I'm seeing another error here. I'm not sure what I did now. Let me select, paste it back. I think I had this as the active object, so yes. Again, make sure you have one of the fractures selected before you run the script, otherwise you're going to run into errors. So I'll be making improvements on this. So yeah, so I think the fall-off distance is too small, so let me try run this again. And see, yeah, so you can play around with this, and I'll be making improvements to this. Just go to my Patreon page and download the add-on, play with it, and let me know what you think, so as I make improvements to it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.